Hi there, Natasha from Boost Marketing Services. Today I wanted to speak to you about the distinction between sales and marketing in your business. Now, in large organisations, there is a very distinct difference between the role of this marketing team and the role of the sales team. As one of my previous marketing managers put it to me, he used to use the analogy that the marketing team's responsibility is to provide the ammunition for the sales team to let it off. Now, personally, I don't really like using war-type analogies to in business, but really what it is the marketing team is designed, it's their job to give the sales team the tools to get their job done. It's the marketing team's job to get in front of the customers, to get the customers in the door, so then the sales team can close the deal with the sale. But quite often though, in small businesses, we don't have a sales team, we don't have a marketing team. Often the salesperson is also doing the marketing. And the way that a salesperson communicates with a customer is very different to the way a marketing person communicates with the customer, because the salesperson is always wanting to get the dollars in the till. But it is important that we get the people in the door in the first place, which is where we need to use marketing speak a little bit more. So how do we do that? How we use marketing speak for you to, or marketing terms, I guess, for you to communicate with your customers and to get your customers through the door before you can start doing your sales pitch, is to recognise exactly who you're communicating with, speak to them in their language, and solve their problem. So going back to recognising who you're communicating with. So this is doing things such as market research, even customer analyses, doing a customer analysis anyway. So by doing market research is that you can get out there, you can throw together a quick little survey and speak to people about, hey, well, what is it that you're interested in? Tell me, what do you do in your spare time? What are your hobbies? How many kids do you have? How old are you? That type of thing, because that's what we're wanting to know. We're wanting to find out a little bit more who we're communicating with, or else we can just do that by having a look at our customer base. I mean, we might know just from the people that we deal with that generally we're dealing with blue-collar workers, tradies, who normally come into the store between 4 to 6 in the afternoon, and Thursday's payday, because we're able to pick up on all those things from when people actually come into the store. So we're able to start to build a bit of an idea on who it is exactly that we're speaking to. Now, if you are the type of business who has a very broad range of customers who you can speak to, such as a business accountant, for example, where you're able to provide services for any sort of small business, then it does get a little bit tricky to be specific. But this is where you can segment things down and still be able to speak to the customer in their language and solve their problem. So for example, if you're a business accountant and you can segment your market into bakers and butchers and mechanics and restaurant owners, for example. But then by breaking that down, we can get really specific and we can speak to them in their language, which is what's going to entice them and get them excited, because all of a sudden, hey, if you're speaking my language, then it's a lot more relatable. I relate to you a lot more. I'm more interested in doing business with you. So recognize who you're communicating with and get really specific on that. Break it down. Then when we speak to customers in their language, we need to understand their pain points and we need to use what terms and phrases that they use. So for example, if you've got a youth market that you're talking to, you wouldn't be speaking in very rounded words. You'd be using a lot of acronyms and slang and speaking in that type of language. Again, so for example, going back to our business accounting firm, if you're targeting a baker, for example, let's use baker language. So some of the language that a baker would use would be rise, dough, cookie cutter, fresh. So now how can we tailor our message to target the baker specifically by using his language? Well, we can say things such as, I know you rise up early to bring in the dough, but we're not a cookie cutter accountant. So why don't you come in and see us for some fresh time? Oh, that's really lame. But anyway, you get my idea though, is that if we're using the language of the baker, the baker is all of a sudden saying, yep, hey, you're talking directly to me. I understand exactly what you're talking about and you're making the effort to get to know me. Finally, we need to solve the problem. What is the problem of our baker? Because people don't buy products, they buy solutions to their problems. So a baker really couldn't care less about buying a business accountant's services. But what the baker does care about is things such as their time. They're up early in the mornings and they don't have time, or maybe they need specific hours to come in to see you. They work long days. They're wanting to spend time with their families, and their core competency is baking. It's not numbers. So again, tailoring your message in a way that solves their problem is more likely to get them into the door. You're talking really specific now to a specific audience. You're relatable, and your message is now helping to get your target audience through the door to help your sales team or yourself put on the sales hat and close the sale. So remember, what we're looking for marketing communications is to recognize exactly who you're speaking to, use the language of your target audience, and solve a problem. Don't sell a product, solve their product. Anyway, I look forward to connecting with you later on, and let me know how you get on with those tips. Bye.